Snails have always been not so favorite of living beings. Suitable? They are slow, sticky, and tacky. But you don't know these small gooey creatures have insanely unique sleeping superpowers. Welcome to the newest Animal Domain video. If this is your first visit, subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. If this video inspires you, click the like button and share it. Snails don't look like they need to sleep, and it's weird to think that way. Yet, we are proved wrong by the study at the University of Toronto. What we think is just the opposite of what happens in reality. It turns out snails sleep for 15 hours and then go on to do their activities for 30 hours straight. A snail's sleep and activity period is divided into 48 and 72 hours. They are primarily awake at night because it's moist and humid compared to the day when the sun comes out. Snails require moisture because it allows them to release the mucus that helps them slide from one place to another. As a result, snails can stay inside their shells for long periods, even if they are extremely hot or cold. You would be surprised to know that snails can sleep for 3 years in hibernation or estivation. Yes, it is true. As already mentioned, snails need moisture to survive, so if the weather is not according to them, they can sleep for 3 years. Snails shift into hibernation or estivation to escape the hot and warm climate. They secrete mucus over their bodies, protecting them from dryness and hot weather. Unlike humans, snails don't abide by the rule of day and night. Usually, snails sleep on and off between 14 to 15 hours. Afterward, they do their work for the next 30 hours. Snails don't show signs of sleeping, such as having their eyes closed or snoring. That's why sometimes it can be pretty tough to determine whether the snail is sleeping. However, there are some simple ways to know whether a snail is sleeping. You can check it by noticing that the shell may hang slightly from their body, tentacles appear withdrawn, or they have a relaxed foot. You may assume that the snail is dead, but don't jump to a conclusion. It may just be taking a power nap. Some Indian scientists, Jayaseelan B. Franklin and R.P. Rajesh, identified the sleep-encouraging compound in the venom known as the cobweb cone. Another interesting fact about snails is that they cannot last long without eating and being active. Some snails only live for a year. Evaluating is normal for them in the hot summers, which goes into suspended animation until it rains. Few snails can survive in the natural desert for several years. The validated record is 6 years for a species from Baja, California, Mexico. Moving ahead, have you ever wondered why snails sleep at all? Let me tell you that the snail's sleeping pattern is quite interesting. They do not follow the day and night pattern as humans and sleep whenever they feel like it. Snails are not nocturnal, which means they don't abide by the habit of staying active either day or night. Snails sleep by hiding inside their shells. Their heads and bodies remain inside the shell, and they close the opening of the cell with a muscle called the operculum. Even the water cannot enter its shell as they seal its opening very tightly. By doing this, they ensure their safety from predators while sleeping. This is most important for sea snails living in the oceans and seas. Snails can hibernate for 3 years. They go to deep sleep and do not eat or drink anything during this time. When they wake up, they will be hungry and thirsty simultaneously. Moving ahead, snails do have different types of sleeping patterns. Some snails sleep in winter, called hibernation, whereas some snails sleep during summer, known as estivation. Then comes the third type of snail, which can change its hibernation schedule according to the weather. They survive by storing food in their shells before hibernating so they have something to eat when they wake up. They are known as seasonal hibernators. This type of hibernation is called acclimation. If for some reason you want to wake your sleeping snail, petting is the best way to rouse it. Putting food in front of him may also work. It would be best never to grab a snail by its shell, whether sleeping or awake, as this can damage the mantle and even cause death. Snails have a prolonged metabolism, which is why they need to sleep for so long. Their bodies work slowly and steadily, so they don't need much energy. That is the reason snails can go for months without food. When the snail rests, it attaches itself to a surface and curls into its shell. The curling shell protects the snail from its predators. Sometimes, they rest upside down in their shells. Snails do not have any sleeping habits. They sleep on any side at any time of day or night because they lack eyelids or sleep cycles like humans. The average life expectancy of these invertebrates is around 15 years. Snails have male and female reproductive organs, which is why they are called hermaphrodites. They need to mate with another individual snail to lay eggs. Snails move with their long foot-like bodies, which means stomach food. Sometimes, you may have noticed that snails magically appear after rain and disappear after a few hours. This is because they depend on a moist environment to survive. A fun fact about snails is that they can't hear. They cannot listen to you or anyone. However, they can see you. Secondly, they don't like the sun. It is no surprise that snails do not like the sun. Unfortunately, pouring salts on snails causes a quick and painful death. Kids find this playful, but this cycle must stop. In addition, snails love to eat plants. They consume about 500 types of plants. Although snails seem soft and meek, these gentle creatures are not so gentle and are strong. Snails are a part of the molluscan family, an ancestry branching grown with shells. More than just knowing how snails sleep, you must realize that snails are a part of the ecosystem and must be respected. Please like and share the video, whether you find it interesting. Stay updated by subscribing to our channels to learn more fantastic information like this.